Woo! All right, all right. What's going on, party people? These notifications go out and get things rocking and rolling. Give y'all a chance to slide on up in here. Let me get all my stuff together. Eating me some lasagna. Look, oh, there it is. All right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So notifications going out. Sorry about that, y'all. I literally just got home about 8:30, so had to go do some quick grocery shopping, pick my son up from work, get here, put the groceries up, fix me something to eat. I bought a little thing from a lasagna from Kroger. And so we got hop on here. What's going on? What's going on with you? We got Violet the Notary. Both of these are YouTube channel members and stuff. So we letting people come in. So what I want to do is play this video, one of my videos, and just listen to this. You might have to turn your volume up some, but I wanted to show y'all this and just listen to this. Sort of, it goes into what we're going to talk about tonight and everything. Good to see you there, Natural Jesse. Got the party people coming on up in here. Yeah, so let me. So turn your volume up so you can hear this.
Superior Notary Services. I'm sure many of you understand that. So let me bump this up. All righty. So it goes in all this. I don't feel like reading all that. So it says here, the difference between loan signing agents and notary publics. There's a difference. Here's the difference. Loan signing agents are notary publics who are certified to assist the lender in guiding the borrower through their loan documents. They might help answer any questions the customer has about their loan, whether it's for a vehicle or a home or a business. Notary publics, on the other hand, do not have the additional certification. That means notaries do not have the ability or expertise to provide information to their customers. So their job is to only confirm parties' agreements and witness signatures of legal documents. If you're unsure whether your document or contract requires a notary public or an expert loan signing agent, then check out this quick guide in the difference of the difference in ability between the two. So that goes into a lot of the training that's out there. Okay. And I get it. I get it. But if your state says no, who you gonna listen to? Outside of and then the thing is, okay, you say, well, that's why I'm taking this particular loan course. Got it. But it also talks about different loans for vehicle or a business. So are you certified and do you know your loan training? Are they teaching you to do those type of documents? Now, from my understanding, everybody who's out there is talking about mortgages, but are they talking about a vehicle? Are they talking about a business? Because businesses can buy buildings and other things and all of that. So what is the loan for? The loan, I mean, I'm not saying businesses buy business. I'm talking about businesses can take on loans. My bad, I'm thinking something else. The businesses can get a loan. They can borrow. You can get a $250,000 loan. So that's a different type of loan. And see, this is something that I've been saying all along. And I believe I've been saying here, but I've been talking to people. It says loan. So when you say you're a loan signing agent, that could be any loan. It's not just mortgages. There's vehicle loans, there's home loans, there's a business loan. So what type of loan are you talking about? It's talking about any of those. Now, where do you get the additional certification or the training so that you can properly do these loans as a loan signing agent and explain them and guide them? Now, the question is, are you allowed to in your state? You can be trained to do whatever, but if you are not allowed to do something in your state, or the people who hire you don't want you to do it, then how can you sit here and force your way into doing something that you ain't supposed to be doing?
Thank you. I'm sorry. I had muted my mic while I was eating. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. We didn't lose sound. That was on me. So my bad, y'all. My bad. So and y'all are some great great viewers because y'all was on it. Y'all was right on it. Y'all like, hey, we ain't hearing nothing. All right, cool. What up, Romeo? So here's the thing. The whole point of this here, and there go my neighbor Erica, one of the best realtors and notaries in the area. So here's the whole point of this here tonight. It is not to try to say one is better than the other. From my perspective, the issue is which one are we? That's the question. And who determines which one we are? Because there are a lot of people out there saying, in order to do this business for us, the loan closings, and we're not talking about general note, but the loan closings, you need to be certified as a loan signing agent. Says who? Who says we have to be certified as a loan signing agent? Oh, you good? You good, Susan? That's the question. And a lot of people keep making a lot of statements about mastering the documents. You can't do this business unless you understand how to guide people through the documents. But the thing is, what does our state say? And I keep harping on this. And what I'm learning from some conversations that I had earlier this week with people on Clubhouse and other places, a lot of people get tired of hearing people talk about following state law. They want to do their own thing. They want to add their own little spice to the business. They want to add their own little and it's like, okay, but does that follow your state law? And a lot of people feel that if you do this extra, it will open the door up for you to get paid more. And it could, but here's a question. If you start getting paid more for doing this extra, is the extra legally allowed? And we have a lot of people who come in this business and say, I'm scared to do it. I don't want to go out here and mess up somebody's legal documents. Well, one of the ways you can mess somebody's legal documents up is you doing something that's not legal. If you're doing things that aren't legal, if you're stepping across the boundary lines of what your state has outlined, then you can mess the people's documents up. So for somebody to say, hey, you're a loan signing agent, or that's the only way you can do loans. Where's the proof at? That's the question that I have, because now there's this whole big thing of notaries versus signing agents. Well, yeah, you're a notary, but you're not a signing agent. And a lot of those individuals say things and do things to make you feel bad about not being on their level, or their imaginary level, or their supposed level. But here's the problem I have with a lot of that, is that a lot of those same notaries, they don't actually know how to notarize properly. So when you talk to some of the signing company owners and the title company people, they say what? They don't really know how to do the notarial part. And what I'm finding out is that what you focus on the most is what you excel in, and what you don't focus on that much, you don't excel in. So when people don't focus on and stay cognizant to what their commission is as a notary, that's what they're failing at. And that's clear. That's with anybody. But they're focused on signing, this supposed signing agent part of sharing documents, explaining documents. And see, the phrase that I heard this week, and I understand that the idea and the concept, and I agree with it if that's what I'm supposed to do per my state. But when I hear people make the statement that you have to master the documents, we know that it takes, they say, 10,000 hours of doing something in order to master it, 21 days in order to develop a habit, 20 some days in order to break a habit. You see what I'm saying? So, how do you develop a habit? How do you master something when you're not even given an opportunity? Training. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much, Susan. Greatly appreciate it. Thanks for all you do. The videos help with the document reviews and much more. Yep. You're welcome. Yep. The people who are channel members with me, they hit the join button and join. They get, I do document reviews with them and all that good stuff. So the question is, if I'm supposed to master the documents in order to be a signing agent, how do I master the documents when nobody won't give me a chance? How many of you notaries who out here new, maybe say within the last year or two, I mean, if you are really getting opportunities out here to do loan closings, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. Now, Oswald, not you, because you old head, so not you. But there are a lot of notaries who are trying to do this business, and they've taken all these different courses, and at the end of the day, they're still not getting selected. I had a conversation with 2 people this week. They've taken 3 courses from 3 top trainers, and they're not getting any opportunities. Another person is taking training, and they're working with signing companies who took the same training as them, and they won't give them an opportunity because they say, "Oh, you don't have this experience." So how do you get that to be a master of something, and then in order for you to say that I'm a signing agent when I'm not given the opportunity? So one of the things in the video that I was playing earlier talks about the difference between a loan signing agent and a notary signing agent. It's all about the knowledge base, which means you have to have a certain level of skill and understanding of the loan process in order to be a loan signing agent. So the question then becomes, who's teaching us on that aspect? As I've always said, a lot of the people say they're doing what? Teaching us how to market and grow the business. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're learning how to be a true loan signing agent. What is a true loan signing agent? Just like I hear a lot of the notaries in Maryland say, right, but you're at your W-2. But even still, they say you can set your own schedule. And then when you say I can do it later, and then he's in an attorney state, and with every package he receives, gives instructions to not explain the documents, and the notary signs. So this is what's going on. So this whole notion of I'm a signing agent instead of being a notary, but nobody can be a signing agent per se without being a notary because signing agents still have to do what? Notarize documents. So there's this thing that I keep hearing in Maryland, and I've showed several times the NNAs from the NNA, the US reference. I keep hearing this thing of you have to be a certified loan signing agent in Maryland in order to do closings. Now, from day one that I've been a notary, the one thing that I've heard time and time and time again is that you have to have a title insurance producer license. What's going on, Caprinas? Good to see you from out there in California. So I keep hearing over and over again that note that you have to have a title insurance producer license. But I've shown for about 2 weeks now that the state statute says unless you are doing title work, giving out title money, doing collecting closing funds and things of that nature, in other words, if you're just there to witness signatures because you have a title person who's going to handle that, you don't need a title insurance producer license. When somebody's selling a house, they don't need title insurance. When it comes to the HELOC, there's no title insurance. You see? So the question then is, do I really need a title license in order to do it in Maryland? Well, depending on the situation. But I never saw anything that said you have to be a certified loan signing agent, that terminology. So what's happening is that people who like the title signing agent, they're making, and a lot of times it's not intentional, but in the way they're carrying themselves and the way that they're saying things, they are making people feel inadequate to do this business because they're not certified. And here's the thing, there's a difference, as I keep sharing, between certification and certificates of completion. Certifications you do every year. None of these courses out here that you're taking to be a certified loan signing agent, you do every year. You do it one time and then you keep it going. The NNA has us recertify every year. I believe every so often you recertify with the title insurance producer license. But any of these other courses, are they having you recertify with them? No. No, they have you doing more spending money with them for as mentorship and things of that nature. But are you really certified? And who recognizes that certification? And then if there's somebody who does recognize it, what is it that they're recognizing out of it? Just the marketing aspect? Because if there's no educational side of it being taught to educate you in how to do your job as a notary, then really, what are you being certified in? That is the question. So I'm a signing agent to do what? What makes me more special than somebody who's just a notary? And case in point, and feel free to ask any questions that you have. So let me pull this up real quick. Let me see here. How can I find this? So hold on. Where is it? Going. I just had the thing. All right. Okay. All right. So hold on. I'm gonna have to pull it up a different way because I messed that up. All right. Let me go on here and hold on one second. I had it together and I did not. All right. So somebody gave me a nice comment, gave a couple of comments. And this is on the video where I talked about me, the follow-up of me being ticked off about and answering some comments. Something interesting that the person said in here is that they said, and the way they said it made it sound like that general notary work and loan closings aren't governed the same. Now, they say, they was basically saying that general notary work will always be under state's guidance. However, anything outside of that, including I-9, permit running, field inspections, and various loan packages, will not fall under G&W. Well, of course it won't. Of course it won't fall under G&W. But it's still notarial work, not the I-9, not the field inspections or permit running, but the loan closing packages. And see, that's the thing. There's this distinction, like there's this general notary work and then there's loan closing. But it's all notarial work, because the question then becomes, how does the state look at it? Now, the state looks at, and what I'm learning and have learned, the state looks at the distinction when it comes to notary work with mortgages or real estate practices and non-real estate stuff in the title insurance area. Virginia and Maryland, from my studies, that's when they show a distinction with a notary in real estate transaction. And that's when they call them notary signing agents. They don't call them loan signing agents. Okay. Go look at the US reference on the NNA site for Maryland and Virginia. They call them notary signing agents, but they're differentiating stuff concerning that when it comes to title license, when it comes to collecting closing funds and title insurance money. But outside of that, if that isn't the case, then what you do with loan closings and what you do with a will power of attorney is all notarial work. It's all notarial work. We use these terms of generalizing things to like create the separation, good marketing. But in all honesty, you are a notary commissioned to do the the notarization of signatures on any document that's important to that client, that customer. That's what we're there for. So it says here, it said maybe being a loan signing agent isn't enough for them. They should try mortgage loan officer, realtor, paralegal. It seems like an unnecessary problem. Yeah, that is true. And like Susan says, witness closings. We do witness closings here in Virginia. And see, a lot of notaries get thrown off when they see that. If you get an order that says witness closing, and sometimes Old Republic will do that. You get a closing that says witness closing. What that means is you're supposed to just sit there and witness the closing. There's nothing for you to say. They don't want you saying anything about the documents. And the question then becomes, why do you have to say something about the documents? Because if you're a notary and you're notarizing signatures, then shouldn't you be saying something about the other ones? But people say, well, no, those don't have anything to do with loans. So I'm a loan signing agent. Somebody recently told me a story that there was a notary doing Ron in Georgia. Most people who've been around for a while know that you don't do Ron in Georgia because it hasn't been approved. Well, she was confronted about it, or he, I think, well, we'll just say she was confronted about it. And what they said was, as to the reason why they could do it was because they were a signing agent and not a notary. They said they're a signing agent, and by being by the virtue of being a signing agent, that authorized them to go and do loan closings or other notary work online, even though they weren't approved for it in their state. So this title thing got people all twisted, got people all messed up, because they're more concerned about having that title as if it's going to make a huge difference. So I'm trying to figure out, are we signing agents or are we notaries? Are we notaries or are we signing agents? Which one are we? And then who determines it? Then therefore we should be able to walk within that. Because I keep seeing I see people who can touting loan signing agent, then all of a sudden now they're not saying loan signing agent anymore, they're saying notary signing agent. Then they drop the loan signing part, the loan off, and the notary part off and just say signing. So which one are we? But one thing I know, no matter what title they've trying to figure out the use, well, notary. They look for notaries. So when I'm sitting here looking and looking at this here comment, and the person is saying that general notary work falls under the state, and they're making it seem as if, and then say that loan closings don't fall under general notary, I'm like, I don't understand that comment. I don't understand, what do you mean by that? That loan closings aren't part of general notary? Well, there's really no general notary. It's just more about, I think it's more about just learning and getting to work. I don't think none should be title driven. I encourage every, oh, I keep forgetting to seek. Well, here's the thing. A lot of people won't go out and seek information. A lot of people are diverted from seeking information. And a lot of people, as they try to find out what they're supposed to do, the first thing that is touted is a title. A lot of people are just touting titles, that you are this and not that, and a lot of times, and I've already done a video on this. I will bring it up again, so that I can show people and help y'all to understand. Mm, 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 mm. So let me share this with y'all. So this is a site called ER Monroe. I did a video about this a couple of years ago. They have, as you look under here, business, I know it's a little small, they have notary errors and omission, and then they have signing agent errors and omission liability insurance. They got two different types. So let's real quickly look at this. They're basically saying that signing agent errors and omission protects you where notary errors and omission doesn't. Now, notary errors and omission, as they're calling it, is about you making a mistake when you're doing something within the confines of notary, okay, as a notary. And they're saying policies issued through their program cover general notary work, general notary, and loan signing agent services in one policy. Now, here's the thing. And I've always asked this question, what is the difference? And that's Mrs. G down there. Here's the thing. What is the difference between the two? And what I'm finding out is basically is this. They're saying, hold on, let me find it. They're saying that, I always mess that up. Signing agent errors and omission. And then let me go down. And it says it only covers you notarize and doesn't cover your signing agent duties. So it says here, that's right, I need to zoom this in a little bit. So it's saying signing agent errors and omissions liability insurance. Notary errors and omission only covers you notarize the notarizing you do in a signing. It does not cover your signing agent duties, such as reviewing the documents with the borrower, calculating rescission dates, and returning date-sensitive loan packages. Now, my question is this. Again, does my state allow me to review? Because when you say review, what is reviewing the documents? What is reviewing the documents? Okay. And if they're talking about the guiding and pointing to stuff and all of that, does your state allow you to do that as a notary? That's really what it boils down to. Calculating rescission calendar. If you go to Notary Assist, they have a rescission calendar already in there. You can't mess up the rescission dates if you use a calendar that either Notary Assist or the NNA provides. They both provide one. So if you have a calendar, how can you mess that up? Returning date-sensitive loan package. Why are you not returning the date-sensitive loan package? Because I've talked to some signing company I talked to one signing company on me that's on Notary Dash, and they said that all of them are having problems with notaries returning documents. So that means, so I'm assuming that they're suing them left and right, and their signing agent E&O insurance is paying the people back for them holding these documents. Okay. It says lawsuits against signing agents are becoming more common. Yes, it is. Even if you're innocent, you can still face it. So signing agent errors and omissions provides for innocent errors and omissions related to your notarial acts. Okay. Incorrectly dating the right of rescission, missed initials or non-notarized signatures, unauthorized changes to documents, negligence of the signing agent to complete the documents in a timely manner, and slow return of date-sensitive documents. Now, my question is this: is there anything that y'all feel that you can do to not make these mistakes? What can you do to not make these mistakes? Is there anything you can do to avoid these issues? That's the question. Because I'm really concerned about the one where it says negligence on the signing agent to complete the documents in a timely manner. Well, they give us an hour. What would cause you, let me come back to y'all real quick. What would cause any of us to sit there and be negligent in doing the closing? How are we negligent in doing the closing if you're a signing agent? Because you should have been trained properly on how not to be negligent. You see what I'm saying? Now, one of the things that I've been hearing is that people saying, it takes them a little bit longer because they trying to do that, script, read through the script and match the script up with the documents, and it takes them an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes. They're nervous and they're trying to say the right things about the document. They're trying to point and guide. They're trying to answer questions. They're trying to make sure that, they give good customer service. And to me, when you get caught up in a lot of that, that's where you open yourself up to missing initials or non-notarized signatures. I know I've done that. I made mistakes not trying to do the document thing, but I've yet to have anybody say we're going to sue you. All they do is ask you to go fix it. So if you're a signing agent, I guess these are the things that we're supposed to be doing. And these are the issues that signing agents have. So from the way I read this, these are the issues that signing agents have. So what issues do notaries have? Because I guess they're saying that notaries don't return documents late. Notaries complete the documents, the signing on time. We don't make unauthorized changes. We don't miss initials of that. We don't incorrectly date the rescission. So if that's the case, I'd rather be a notary because it seems like being a signing agent puts me at more liability. That's the thing that I'm concerned about. Does being a signing agent put me at more liability? And if I am supposed to do that in accordance with my state laws, then I would do it all day and every day. So this is the concern that I have because we have this thing where it's like everybody's trying to make sure that they're touting that they are a signing agent, but a lot of them still don't know how to do notarial work. And you said correct, but if everybody wants to have contingency plan in case of human error, it could be wrong though. You know, now what human error are you talking about there, young lady? What human error? And see, here's the thing. Now, like you're saying here, if you study the state law, now this is the tricky part. If you study your state law and you see in your state law that everything that people out that are not a part of your state are telling you to do isn't in your state law, now what are you gonna do? Because that's a that's a five triple double stacker edge sword there that you're saying there. Because when you say study your state laws, and as you study your state laws, you see that what your state law says does not support the training you paid and did. Now, what are you going to do? And see, that's why a lot of notaries don't mess with their state laws. they don't look into them, they don't study them, they don't read them, because they know if they go into them state laws, they're gonna be like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. That's why a lot of trainers, in my opinion, don't even go into state law stuff, because if they went into state law, you will find out that, okay, what you're training us on isn't applicable here, but it's applicable over here, here, here. Which means then what? People that's here should not be taking that course, because what you're teaching is not applicable to me. That's why you don't have California, the state training that they do in California. You don't see them going to Nevada and doing it, because it's not for Nevada. The people who the training they do in North Carolina, you don't see them coming to Virginia or any other state as a notary trainer for North Carolina, coming to a different state training their people, because they're not authorized to do it. As I found out today, any training you do in Ohio has to be approved by the state, from what I was told. So when you say study your state laws, that should tell you what you should and shouldn't do. Just like if you study your book, right? We all understand make mistakes, but is the mistake you making based off of something you're supposed to be doing or you're not supposed to be doing? You can't just generalize it, in my opinion, and say, oh, well, we all make mistakes, so just go out there and get this insurance to cover you. Well, how about not going down that road at all? I mean, look, okay, let's be real. Your loved one all of a sudden makes a mistake of being with somebody else. What would you tell them? Don't go and do that. Don't do that. What did it say? Shun the very appearance of evil. So there's all kinds of statutes. I mean, what's the word to say? There's all types of things we have out here in society that talks about don't put yourself in bad situations. Even as you know, with they were talking about with the brick lady and you know, all the way back to Trayvon Martin, all of this stuff talking about don't do this, and then you know, don't go here, don't go there, be careful with this, be careful with that, be mindful of where you're at, all of this stuff, and then we come a notary, and it's like, oh, just do whatever. If somebody tells you to do this, you just do it. No, no. Do what you're supposed to do. See, this is what I don't understand. Why is it so hard for us to just do what we're supposed to do? Why are you so intrigued with doing this super cool, fancy stuff, but your state law doesn't support it? And see, people will make you feel bad. Oh, thank you, Bruce. Thank you. Thank you. And hey to you, Miss Cassandra. You know, the question again, I mean, and again, I'm not trying to come down. I'm not, I consider myself a notary. At the beginning, middle, and end of the day, I'm a notary. That's what I rose my hand to be. That's what I do. That's what I execute on a daily basis. I got 5 closings this weekend. One of them was a Ron, and they're looking for a notary. Ain't nobody said, are you a loan signing agent? They're asking for a notary. Can you get these documents notarized? And then I got somebody calling me. They need a will notarized. None of this here is about, hey, I got this general notary will to be notarized. I have this non-general notary loan to be closed. Let's use, and I'm going to say it, let's use some common sense. But people are doing whatever. See, that's the thing. You're saying you don't think to do whatever, but there are people who are just doing whatever. They're just doing. When you have somebody who's a Georgia notary that's doing Ron and they're not approved to do Ron, and the reason why they're saying they're doing Ron is because they said that they're a signing agent. Because they're saying, oh, as a notary, I can't do Ron in Georgia, but as a signing agent, I can. Well, who the heck told you you was a signing agent? When did Georgia tell you that you were a signing agent? When did Georgia say a signing agent can do Ron in Georgia. Get what I'm saying? So people are doing whatever. Now, you may not be doing whatever. Your circle of influence might not be doing whatever, but there's a lot of circles out there that are doing whatever. They are out there doing whatever they want to do. So that's the thing you got to be mindful of. If somebody's out there doing something, you have to question it. And this is what I keep asking y'all. And see, everybody's worried about, well, I don't want to mess up nobody's money. It's not about messing up anybody's money. Their money's messed up if they're doing it illegally. And it's messing up the notary business. Ask these signing company owners, they'll tell you they're struggling to find good, solid notaries who will do what they're supposed to do with regards to notarizations. Very few of them can do that. And y'all know this. People are struggling. There has never been a time that I got a phone call from anybody that said, hey, Griff, I need help understanding how to explain this document. Every phone call that I get from a notary needing help, it is about, what do I do with this notarial statement? I don't understand this notarial statement. What do I do with it? Just like a young lady, she called me, she needed some help. And the way the notarial statement read, I didn't even understand it. I said, add your own statement. Add the one from your state. And she said, all right, cool. And she was good to go. Problem solved. Rather than somebody, and see, this is crazy. Rather than somebody having to pay somebody to tell them that answer, nobody won't do that. Won't just give them the answer. It's like, pay me that answer. And you're constantly having to be told the wrong thing. This is where the problem lies at. And I'm working on getting people who are in the industry that can attest to what I'm sharing with y'all about the issues that they're seeing on the other end of it when they're receiving the documents. Because the problem is that y'all hear me say it, but y'all don't hear the people who are paying us say it. And a lot of them are so busy trying to keep their business afloat and keep it from sinking. You know, they're like, hey, I got to try to find a way to stay alive here. And they don't have time to deal with our mess. You know, now, yes, you can have a seal and a stamp unless your state says otherwise. Let's see. Hold on one second. I'm just trying to find something for y'all. I was just trying to find something. I don't know where it's at. All right. I was trying to find something. But that's the thing. So if some states will let you, I have a stamp and I have the seal. Matter of fact, I need to buy some gold sticky things for it on the paper. But most places don't want you to use the seal because they want it to be photographically reproducible and stuff. It says, don't you have to have an electronic signature approved by the platform you're trying to? Yes. And if I'm not mistaken, that young lady was using DocuSign to do her notarizations. If I remember correctly, that the person said they was using DocuSign to do the notarizations. Yeah. So people are getting slick out there. You ever talk to Amy Sykes? She'll tell you. People are out here doing some slick stuff to try to get past using .verify, her platform, or any other platform. So yeah, people are doing some slick stuff. And this is what I'm saying. Just because you don't operate that way, it doesn't mean that other people aren't. And this is why it's making it hard for notaries to get work, because they want to work, they're taking training. And I know, look, I'm gonna just say it this way. I know of at least 3 notaries that have taken Notary Stars, Vanessa Terry, Carol Ray, Bill Soroka, LSS, Laura Brewer. So they've taken at least 6 closings. I mean, 6 different types of training, and they ain't getting no work. They've taken 6 different types of training, and they're not getting any work. And see, this is the concern, because if this work is supposed to be about, and thank y'all for hitting the like button, if this training is supposed to be the catalyst to getting us work, but then notaries aren't getting work, then the question becomes, why not? Why aren't we getting work? Why aren't we being given the opportunity if I have the training that you said I need to have under my belt? That's like somebody saying, that's like a person telling, saying, hey, yeah, I will marry you if you do this, and this, and you do all of that, and then they still go run off with somebody else. And you're like, wait a minute, why? I thought, well, yeah, and then they come up with some other excuse, and they keep moving the goalposts, and it's like, I thought this was the goal. Well, yeah, it is, but it just got narrower. It just got over here, there, and that is the problem that we're having, and that has been brought into our notary business. We have a very, very good business here. We have a great opportunity to do some wonderful things. But time out for all of this notary versus signing agent. Y'all need to stop with the pushing of the titles. Okay. And I know there's people that's getting that may not like me. I know there's some signing company owners that are like, okay, well, we ain't gonna use Griff anymore. Okay. I'll find some other way to make money. I know how to work out there and hustle and do what I got to do. But I don't have 5 closings this weekend because I'm a bum. I have 5 closings this weekend because people know that I take what I do serious, and I'm going to give them the best. If I make a mistake, I will correct it. It's that simple, because I operate as a good, skilled, qualified, knowledgeable notary, because that's what they're looking for. I give them what they're looking for. I've never had a signing company, a direct client, and I really haven't had any signing company. Well, we're looking for loan signing agents. They're looking for somebody to do the notarial part. Can you do that, Griff? Yes, I can. How much you charge? This. Okay, we'll pay it. How much you charge? This. Well, that's outside of our purview. Okay, no problem. I can drop my fee down. Let's get the work done. All right, cool. Bet. Boom. And I make it happen. I make it happen. And this is what's happening. This is what's not happening. There's many of you who aren't making it happen because you're worried about the title. You're worried too much about the title. You're worried about trying to master something that you don't need to master. Master understanding how to do the loan closings for the notarial part, and you'll be fine. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And what we need to have is a clear understanding of what we're supposed to do. Because the notarial certificate that you see for a will or power of attorney is very similar, if not the same, that you will see on a loan closing document, on a deed, on any affidavit. Subscribed and sworn before me by so and so on this date. Subscribed and sworn before me in your notary name by so and so on such and such date. Whatever format, it's there. So what we're supposed to do is the same across the board. And I understand that the whole goal for some of this stuff is to create this environment to have the notaries, provide this level of service that typically that would happen in the title office. But now it's out in the field, and people want to create that same thing. And I understand that a lot of title companies and settlement agents and all of that are so busy that they don't even have time to talk to the customer. So there's things that the customer need to have been told, but they're not telling them for whatever reason. And then they want the notary to pass that information on or to be knowledgeable enough. But when I'm doing 400. I'm doing closings for 400 different companies a year. 650 to 700 and some closings a year for 400 different companies. I don't really have the ability to try to memorize or learn and be educated on everybody's different documents, the way they got them done, DC, California, all of that kind of stuff. Even today, my first signing for the day, the guy was asking so many questions. And what I picked up was that he didn't do his part in asking questions that was of concern to his. So now he's looking for me to basically give him the answer that he should have asked for maybe several days ago, and he chose not to. And I was like, so we need to call your loan officer, or that I'm not able. I said, please read the document. And when he, and to his credit, when he actually sat there and read, boom, he got the understanding. And unfortunately, people are tired. Sometimes they're lazy. Sometimes their comprehension level isn't where it needs to be at that particular time. And they're looking for somebody to just sort of like, hey, just tell me what I'm doing. And that's not my job. And as adults, we need all adults supposed to be responsible for their own financial matters. And that's what this is all about. So we have a great opportunity. And that's why it's not like the Lion King, lions and hyenas getting together. But this is how we as well, we need to be working together to ensure that what we're doing is above reproach. We should not have anything that we're doing to be questioned. Because basically, that other E&O insurance from E.R. Monroe, and they're a good company. I like them. I just don't feel I need their insurance. Their insurance is there for when you step outside the bounds of what you're supposed to be doing as a notary. Now, here's the question. I have this, if I have that signing agent E&O insurance, and I step outside of my role as a notary, in other words, I'm doing stuff that my state has said I'm not supposed to do, do I still keep my notarial certificate or my commission, even though I get convicted, I get caught doing something I shouldn't be doing, I mess something up, the E&O insurance kicks in and covers the cost and pays everybody off, but does the state say, oh, okay, well, you good then? Because I still may have violated state law. The insurance pays off the people who I've affected negatively, but does the insurance keep me commissioned? That's the question you have to ask. Very, very true. Griffin, coming from work most of my entire life in corporate America, I do computer work, and it has to be on point because I get out of it all the time. Yeah. And like I said, no, your commission is gone. See, this is what you got to think about. In Virginia, you lose your commission from what Jacqueline Phillips. I know Jacqueline Wilson. That's a good friend of mine. She's married to a buddy of mine from high school. Jacqueline Phillips was saying a couple of weeks ago, matter of fact, at a speaking event here that Ebony Locke has, 757 Sisters. Woohoo! She was saying how you lose your commission in Virginia, you get it revoked or pulled, you lose it for 20 years. So you got all this insurance and you're stepping outside of the boundaries you're supposed to be in, and your E&O insurance making it rain to everybody who you just screwed over because you did something that you weren't supposed to be doing. But guess what? You still lose your commission. So what's more important? Keeping your commission or stepping outside the boundaries? It's like your relationship. What's more important? Chasing that PYT? Chasing that little fake Idris Elba looking dude? Or keeping your family intact? Which one is more important to your party people? That's what this all boils down to. What's more important to you as a notary, as a signing company, as a title people, as a lender? What's more important? To skirt the boundaries of unauthorized practice of law, or to make sure you stay within the confines of the law. And there's some deals that might get lost, but you don't lose what you worked so hard to get because you want to play on the edge of mess. I can't say the D word because YouTube would get mad. You see what I'm saying? Is the other point? Well, I mean, unless you go move. I mean, so now you're gonna be moved. Now you're acting like those signing companies who don't be paying people. Oh, I ain't paid you. I'm gonna shut down and pop up over here as something else. The D word meaning you're no longer that you're expired. You're walking along the line of expiration. Okay, that's what I mean. Expiration. YouTube sometimes flag you if you say the actual D word that ends in TH. Okay, so we have to be careful about that. And I understand, right? Always lean back on your state law. So if that is the premise, then that means that's what needs to be pumped. That what needs to be taught. And anything that's not taught about leaning on your state laws and anything that you're teaching that pulls a person from their state laws should not be taught. So now the question then is, do we need to do all these trainings with all these different people? Because all training should be geared to prepare us not just about marketing and getting business. Because a lot of times you market yourself one or two times in a particular area and that pulls into business. Now, yes, I understand the concept, constantly keep marketing so you can get new customers and all that. Yeah, that's for the new people. But once you get the customer, then okay, boom, you got them. You got them. I mean, just like if you like Cheesecake Factory, they market and you see the Cheesecake Factory commercial, and you go there and you like it, you're no longer intrigued by that commercial anymore because you're like, okay, I already know about them. I go there when I feel like going. So no other new commercial unless they're going to offer 30% off meals when you come in from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock on a Friday. Then that intrigues you. But other than that, you're like, okay, I'm good. I'm a customer. I'm a fan of Cheesecake Factory. I don't need to see their commercials anymore to intrigue me or pull me that way. They got my business. So once you market and you have a customer that you have their business, you don't have to keep marketing to them. But what you do have to do on a consistent basis is do what you are commissioned to do correctly every single time you're with them. That's it, because when you're with them, you're not there to market, you're there to do business, and you're there to conduct the business of a notary. But if you're saying, well, no, I'm a signing agent, okay, then fine, be a signing agent. Can you notarize? If you can't notarize, then what good are you? All right. So let me see here. We'll say that was the first thing I did. Get my state book is important. And see, here's what's amazing and I love is that so many of y'all, at least here, are talking about how you refer back to your state laws. And I find it amazing that there's so many notaries out there. There's so many people out there that they never even talk about people following state law. They'll say you need to understand and know the documents. And then, oh yeah, by the way, also your state law. It's like state law is this afterthought. It's an afterthought. It's like, well, yeah, but it's really more about, providing service and making sure your business is at this level and doing things and this. And I'm like, so again, where you put your attention to the most is what you get good at. Why do you think Laura Brewer can do what she do? Because she understands the law. She understands that. That's why she gets called in as a what? Expert witness. So if you've been in the business, so think about it. If you've been in the business 10 years and doing the things the way you're doing it, would anybody ever call you to be an expert witness? Do you even understand your state laws enough to to be an expert witness, to even be any kind of witness. No, most of us don't. I'm not even there. I'll be honest, I'm personally not there. And if you feel that way, then your communication needs to match that. Because I think you were the one that said, I was talking comment where you were saying that about loan closings don't fall under G and I didn't understand that comment. You were saying, um, you know, G and W is under the state, and loan closing isn't under G and W. And I'm like, okay, then what is loan closings under? As if it's some separate entity. It's like mortgages and loans are really regulated by the state across the board. You would need, the mortgages. So what we do, if it's anything that we deal with, to me, it falls under the state because we have to do it in accordance with the state guidelines. So if somebody brings me a loan package, am I doing it in accordance with the state? Somebody brings me a will, am I doing it in accordance with the state guidelines? If somebody brings me a 401k document for somebody to get their money out of a 401k and it needs to be notarized, am I doing it in accordance with the state guidelines? Somebody brings me a DMV form, am I doing it in accordance with the state guidelines? If I get online with Notarize and I notarize those postal things for people setting up mailboxes, am I doing it in accordance with the state guidelines? Anything that I touch and I do, no matter what the document is, if it needs to be a notarization done on there, am I doing it in accordance with the state guidelines? So everything that we do falls under the state. There is no separation of, well, if you're doing loans, if you're doing wills, if you're doing trust, if you're doing this, if you're doing that, that these fall under the state guideline, but this doesn't. No, it all falls under the state guideline. And I'm putting that out there like that because if I'm wrong, then somebody please correct me. How does something that we do that requires our notarial stamp doesn't fall under the state guidelines for us what we do? For us what we do? That's the question. But see, that's the thing. You're saying loan signing is not, none of it. There is no such thing as general notary. That's what you have to understand, young lady. There legally is nothing, in my opinion, legally nothing that says there is general notary work and it's notarial work. It's all notarial work because the same notarial statements that you would need to put on a loan closing, you can use on a will, power of attorney, trust document. That same notarial certificate. There are no special certificates for notaries that goes with loan closings and then that goes with non-loan closings. It's the same notarial certificate. So how is it different? Because you keep saying loan closings aren't general notary work. Well, then what is general notary work? It's all notary work. You see what I'm saying? It's all notary work. So who, and then the question then will be to you, young lady, who divided it? Who separated it? And what is the criteria for it to be separate? That's why I said there's this notary thing, signing agent thing, as if it's two completely separate things. And that if you're a signing agent, you're better than a notary. You got more responsibilities than a notary. You can do more than a notary. Okay, so what is it that I can do that a notary can't do? Well, you can explain documents and you can am I supposed to do that? And I know I'm repeating myself, but again, this is the conundrum that we're in, people. We're doing this over and over again. And guess what? I can shut up for the rest of this night and the rest of the year. And I guarantee you by February, the same thing will pop up again. It'll pop up again because there'll be somebody saying, I'm a signing agent. And that's more than just a notary. But even, and what are they training you to do with this it's again dealing with what to say about the documents. And if this dealing with title stuff, then that's completely different. But a lot of it is still centered on what you say about the doc. See, here's my thing. Why don't people train us to say stuff about the power of attorneys and the other documents? Why is it so important for the notary to say something about the loan documents? Why is it so important? That's what I really have been asking, and I want to know. What makes the loan documents this separate entity that requires a person who's been working a W-2 for the past 25 years and never done any of this, that now they become a notary in September, and when they get their first assignment in October, they need to be able to have mastered the documents and be able to guide somebody through that. That is your goal there. When you become a notary and you do this, a loan closing, that is what you're going to be trained to do. That is what you need to do. Why is it so important that notaries do that with regards to that particular type of work and none other? That's what I'm trying to understand. There's a lot of money. Okay, see, that's to me, okay, yeah, the amount of money associated with the transaction. But guess what? When you do somebody's will wrong and they pass away, you do somebody's power of attorney wrong. So I see, but there's a lot of money and there's a lot of stuff that's at stake with all of it. That's what I'm saying. And I understand what you're saying, Bruce, because that's what a lot of people told me when I first came in. It was like, because the mortgage, the house is just okay. But you know what? There's some houses that I've seen, some mortgages that it was only $29,000. It was a mortgage. The house is paid off, and they were doing a refinance and pulling a cash out refi on a house that's paid off, and it was pulling out $29,000, and the monthly mortgage payment was like 350 some bucks. And there's some cars that cost more than that. There's people who are doing wills that's in trust that's dealing with millions of dollars of assets. To me, all of it's important. But my thing is this: has the state that we're commissioned by told us that we need to have that level of attention and care concerning the area above their signature line? Here's their signature line. Our stuff is down here. My understanding, from their signature line down, that's our responsibility. Did they sign it right? Did they date it? Did they initial when applicable? The information above, we don't need to know. It's none of our concern. So you can be notarizing a document that could be for somebody. Like I did a purchase agreement last Sunday. I don't know what was being purchased, but I notarized it. I notarized the signatures on it. So what I did could have been the purchasing of a $2 million building. I don't know. But what I do know, I did it right. I notarized it right. And there was nothing for me to share and tell this guy about it. It's like, no, ain't nothing to apologize about, big man. Ain't nothing to apologize about. Ain't nothing to apologize about. You know what I'm saying? But I understand, because see, in the beginning, when I first started doing this, that's what I was thinking. Oh, okay, well, yeah, we have to do this because these loan closings are important, and they're dealing with these people's money and their house and stuff. And then I wish I could remember who, but somewhere I was in some kind of online something, and the person said, well, wills and power of attorneys are just as important. They said, because if you don't do the will correctly, if you have the wrong witnesses, if witnesses are required, and that person passes away, it can nullify that will and nobody gets anything. And it then all goes to the state. And when they said that, I was like, you're right. I said, so then what makes one assignment more important than the other? I said, maybe I need, and I was just saying for myself, maybe I need to have the mindset of everyone is important. So what is it that I'm required to do per the state every time I use my notary stamp? And can I operate and be happy operating in that realm? That's the question. Can I operate that way and be happy operating that way? Because then the question becomes, are the people who are trying to operate in accordance with their state law, are they happy with it? And if you're not happy with it, then you try to find some way to finesse it. And then you start teaching other peoples to finesse it. And then you start doing training courses that's teaching people how to finesse it. And then you have those people go out to signing companies and title companies trying to finesse. And then those people are like, why they keep trying to finesse? And then nobody's getting stuff done correctly, or well, then they eventually get it done correctly, but it takes 3 and 4 times of sending notaries back and forth, back and forth. And this is why I work so very hard to be able to do my job with no more than maybe it'll just say a 3% error rate per year, not per month, not per year, because we all know we all make mistakes. So I said, if I can keep my error rate low, and yes, I know I'm a different breed of person. I run my mouth and this, that, and the other, and I say how I feel and all of that, cool. But if those signing companies and those title companies and all them people can look past that and realize who they have, which is a great notary that can get the job done for them, and they understand what I'm saying is not to try to diminish anything, but to make sure that we're doing things correctly, I have no reason to believe that they won't keep hiring me. They will call me because they know they can depend on me. I know signing companies look at me. I know title companies look, and I know there's signing company owners that's like, I wish Griffith just shut up. You know, he's saying something about what I said because I don't understand it, and maybe I don't agree with it. It doesn't make sense to me that somebody is told to master or be excellent at understanding the loan documents to point to, well, here's where your interest rate is. Again, my question is, why don't they already know that? Well, here's where your first here's what your mortgage payment is going to be. Here's when you're okay. But my question is, why is somebody coming into this deal and not knowing? Because keep in mind, let's go back to what my man Bruce said. And I do like what you said, Bruce, and I do agree because there is a lot of money on these transactions. So here's the question, Bruce, and to everybody. If the transaction is that important that we as notaries need to be that engrafted into being able to explain point and all this, that, and the other, and pop lock and all of that to make sure that they understand these documents, why isn't that being done before they get to us? Why would you entrust this huge deal to somebody that you don't even know? Somebody who just went and took a couple of training courses, somebody who just barely passed their background check, who just barely passed the NNA certification test with I think it's 80 now, with an 80 on the dot. Back in the day it was 75. I think they raised it up. And now you want them to go in here with the biggest deal of this person's life and say, okay, you just started, okay, go. And they looking like, why not mitigate that issue and say, okay, what role do I have? Let me go ahead on, hey, this is what you need to do. You need to make sure that and here's what you need to understand. And see, what y'all don't realize is that the title companies have smartened up and they have started ensuring that the homeowner, the borrower, the person who's buying, selling, all of that are looking at the documents ahead of time. I have to do any notary work, to do anything that has to do with you notarizing signatures on any documents, whether loan signing, what you have to have a notary commission. That's period. Now, depending on your state guidelines and laws, if you're dealing with title insurance, then you may have to have a title license if your state says so. So now I forgot what I was going to say. I saw her comment and I asked them, right, there we go. Thank you. You just helped me remember. You just helped me remember. Ask them, have they seen the documents? Here's what's happening. I have a direct client that I come there, I cannot proceed with the closing until that person or persons across from me actually have went through and e-signed the documents. Now, what do they actually see? I don't know. They won't, I'm not allowed to see the e-signed version of these documents. I asked because I wanted to get a understanding for my own self, and they said, no, I can't, nope, it's just for them. Okay, cool. But I do have the closing package, 65 pages, 70 pages, something like that. They have to go through that before they get to me. There's closings that I do now through signing companies, hybrids, and they say you cannot proceed until they e-sign. So now here's the thing. If they're e-signing the documents, if they're being told they have to review the documents and do something that acknowledge that they've seen the documents, then what is there for me to explain if all of that has already been done? It goes on to say, exactly. I asked the question so many times. We don't, the client knows all of this before notary. Why don't, I know you're probably saying why don't the notary know all this before they're not? This is their financial matter. Right. Because now you're making me responsible. And I explained that I am here to make sure the document is correct and not right. That is correct. That's what we need to focus on. It says that would be out of a notary wheelhouse. Anyway, they can't explain or persuade. Okay, and see, I love the statement there. So then here's the thing. Why put a person in the position thinking that, there's this line we say, don't cross it for unauthorized practice of law. It's easier to not cross it if it has been properly defined. But the thing is, nobody's really defining it. So they're saying, well, you can say this up until this point. Okay, that might be okay in your state, but is it okay in mine? You see how this keeps circling back around? So you're telling me, and that's fine, Mr. and Miss Trainer, you're teaching me this here, and you're saying, well, here's what you can do when you see this form, and you can say this and you can say that. Based on what? For the 50 states, 50 different laws and rules, based on what? What's your evidence? What's your proof? Where's your documented proof that I am actually legally allowed to say that per my state? Well, you got to figure that out yourself. So then the thing is, why am I taking training that's telling me that I still got to go figure it out for myself? And at this point, people are going to get mad at them. Oh, you're trying to stop me from actually, getting, making money training. No, I'm not. Because here's the thing. All you got to do is modify your training to be able to answer those questions. You modify your training to answer the questions necessary. Just like people say the SAT needs to be changed and modified to address the people who are minorities and foreigners who come in the country and they don't live that lifestyle. They don't understand those certain things that's on SATs and PSATs and the ACT test. They say it's biased. So is the training bias? And I think the training can be because most people train out of their own experience. Here's my experience, and this is how I'm going to train. Like my man Bruce, if it's done right, you really shouldn't have to say anything. It says, I think that's part of the problem, Griff, is that some, if not most all, of the Notary Public state laws only explicitly state what you cannot say or do and not say or do. And I hope that, yeah, I got what you're saying. The gray area. Yeah, that gray area, and here's the thing. To me, leaders never put the people who are following them in a position of failure. And they never put them in a position where they could get be in danger of failing, especially and not have a safety net for them. So that means if I'm being trained by somebody and you need help, and I tell you, hey, go do this. Well, I should be able to be there for you if you get stuck on something. But a lot of trainers aren't. So people who are my YouTube channel members, they know that if they're in a signing and they get stuck on something, all they gotta do is call me. That's what the lady did. She called me. She's like, "Hey, Griff, I need help." So if you're a channel member of mine, and I make sure I write everybody's stuff down so I know who is and who isn't. But you're a channel member of mine on my YouTube channel, and you call and you say, "Hey, I need help," or you tell me, "Hey, I need to do a document review." We're gonna go make it happen. Okay, let's sit down. Let's do a document review. Let's talk because I'm encouraging you to go out there and take the order. So if I'm encouraging you to go take the order, to me, it makes sense that I should be available to you if you get stuck. I'm not going to tell somebody to go do something and not be willing to help them. Here's the thing that I always told my sons. I'm never going to ask you to do something that I don't believe you can do or I'm not willing to help you to do. I will never tell you to do something. I will never ask you to do something that I don't believe you can do or I'm willing to help you to do. So if I told my sons no, that if I say go take out the trash, it's because I know they can do it and they won't do it because I ain't doing it. If I ask them, hey, go change the oil in the car, my sons know that they walk up to that car and they come to the realization that they don't know what to do on changing the oil. They already know they're going to get my help. So a notary trainer, a notary mentor, a notary coach, in my opinion, should be able to is telling you to do something. It's because they believe you can do it or they are willing to help you to do it. And if neither one of those exists, you have a problem. And that's the difference with me. And my wife would tell you, I believe you can do it, and I'm going to help you to get it done. That's why I roll the way I roll. Because and y'all heard me say this, I believe in y'all. I believe y'all can do this business. And I actually believe y'all can do this business without me and without a lot of other people. But it's been inundated. We've been inundated with the belief that you cannot actually do this business unless you have this trainer, this mentor, this 6-pack of this 12-pack of that, the supersize this. You can't be a notary unless you have this concierge service. And I love my man who was saying, to have a Uber XL. You don't have to have all of that. Now I understand, but see, all of that is designed to get more money. And if it's designed to get more money, then are you saying that the money that you would normally get paid isn't enough? Or, and this is for all of us, or maybe you don't understand how income and revenue, the income revenue stuff works. And thank you very much for being a member. Got tons of videos in there too. So, and I need to see what the calendar here says. Okay, so I'm looking at next weekend, the 23rd, doing some training with the members. I didn't even realize it was 5 weekends this month. So next weekend, the 23rd, and I'll put a community post up for y'all that we'll do a training and introduce new members and figure out what y'all need help with. And y'all will be able to, and I'll do a post and everything, and y'all will be able to hit me up anytime. So we don't have to wait. You don't have to wait till the 23rd, and all of that good stuff. So this is the way my mind is thinking, y'all. I'm just sitting here for 5 years hearing all of this stuff, and thank y'all for hitting the like button. And I'm hearing these things that everybody is saying that we must do and we have to do and we better do in order to be a good notary. And I'm like, okay, if that's the case, then why are so many notaries jacking stuff up? Why are so many notaries messing things up? Why are so many notaries fearful and scared? Wonderful young lady I talked to today, and we had a good conversation. And going forward, she's not going to run away from any more orders. But here's the other thing. and this has nothing to do with signing agent or notary stuff. This is just what's happening. Many of you who are in this business right now, you got too much on your plate. Whether it's just your one job or 2, 3 jobs or other businesses or just life. And a lot of the people who are joining in to being a notary right now, you can't do it even half time. And again, my measurement for doing notary halftime is based off of what the notaries trainers say, doing 15 orders a month. What is it? They say doing 15 orders a month and $150. Yeah. So let me pull it up. And pull my calculator up so y'all can see. So what the notary trainers have said over the years is you do $150 per order and you do 15 of them a week. So that's 2,250, and you know there's 4 weeks in the month. So times 4, you're saying you can make $9,000. So what will be halftime? So basically 7 or 8 signings a week. Okay. So you do 7 or 8 signings a week. The question is, based on your lifestyle and what you got going on right now, can you do that? Can you do 7 signings a week? So 7 divided by 5 is 1.4 a day. Can you at least do 1 a day? Most of you probably say yes. So if you're doing less than 7, that's where you hear me saying you're doing quarter time. So you're doing, 7, another 2. So you're talking about doing 3.5 or doing 4. So are you able to really do that? And if you can do that, cool. But if you can't, then the question is why. And this is what's happening. A lot of people are like, I'm in here trying to do it and I can't get any business. I can't get any traction. And there are some people who are like, if I can get going with this, I'll quit and go full time with it. But you can't even get your first one. Or if you do get a first one, it's months before you get another one. That's what's happening. And people are spending full-time money to be in this business and can't even commit to doing it quarter of a time. Can't even commit to doing 3 signings a week, 3 signings a week. And those who can commit to doing 3 to 5 or 7 a week, they can't even get the opportunity. This is where we're at, people. Now, I'm gonna share with y'all my game plan the whole time that I've been a notary. I know from experience that this was going to happen because people were going to not count the costs and not truly investigate it and hop in here out of emotions. And what I figured out back in 2019 was that if I can keep my emotions in check and I can get out here and be solid and stable as a good notary, when when things happen like this and people start falling away, I'll still be able to stand and do work. Now, will I be able to do as much work as before? Maybe not, but I can still do work. I can still do the notary stuff. Now, to prove to y'all what I mean, guess what? Y'all know I just did my first apostille. I'm very happy about it. Loved it. And I'm going to show y'all some stuff real quick and we'll get off the topic of the signing agent thing. So stick with me here. Stick with me. And I'm going to show y'all some stuff that I learned about the apostille thing from Virginia, from the Virginia standpoint. We're going to pull that up over here. So the reason why, remember I told y'all, Susan, she told me to find out. I found out the reason why I was given this apostille opportunity was simply this. The young lady went to Judi Lawrence site. Judi Lawrence has a directory of apostilles, people who took her course and what state they're in. The notary, and she specializes in apostille in her state of Missouri. Wonderful lady. She said that she went to there and called down this list of notaries, and all 8, I was the 9th one, the 8 notaries before me told her they don't do it anymore. So she called me and I said yes. I had no idea how detailed it was. I just said yes. And yes, this was my first one, but I knew I would be able to do it. And the reason why I knew I could do it, because Judi told me straight up, and it's what, as she tells everybody, if you need help, call me. That's what I tell people. You need help, call me. So she said the same thing I tell y'all, just take the order. The lady called, I can tell she needed help. I said, yes. We'll figure it out. We'll find some kind of way to figure it out. I'd rather say yes than to say no. And especially when I can hear and sense that, okay, this is important. And she's a little stressed. And when I said yes, she said, thank you. You're the 9th person. I was like, and I didn't know I was the 9th person. She didn't call saying, hey, you're the 9th person I'm calling. It was, do you do apostille? And I said, yes. And she didn't ask, had I done one? Had she asked me, had I done one? I'm like, nah, but I can do it. I said, no, but I have a support system that can do it. And that's what I did. And I got it done. Okay. But I'm the last man standing. And I'm fine with that. So I had to work my business in such a way and get my mind to a point of being able to stand, be the last person standing. So this whole conflict of I'm a signing agent, notary, what does that do for me? It's an argument just waiting to happen. That's all that is. And people are seriously arguing and fussing about it and going around trying to make you feel bad and make themselves feel good about having some little jacked up title, but yet they can't even do the notary work. And there's people who got tip license and they aren't good notaries. That's the truth of the matter. So let me share with y'all Commonwealth of Virginia. So this is the Commonwealth of Virginia site. I'm zoom in a little bit. So, when I come here to the site, and for those of you who are Virginia notaries, I'm gonna throw the link in the thing here. So when I came here, it says how to submit. It says, okay, this is how you submit. Gather the documents, get the cover letter, submit payment. They want payment as money order or check, and mail the documents to the office, wait to get the documents back. And you have to provide them a mailer to send the documents back to you. I'm like, okay, cool. So, gotcha. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll, maybe mail it. But then I found that it can take 10 days and she was on a tight crunch. Then it said in-person appointment. Okay. So they have no walk-up. So there's no walk-up service there. So I said, okay, I'll go to the thing and do the appointments. Well, they stuff is booked. And this is the following week, the 17th. It's booked. And darn, they're booked there. And then I don't think and now they just now put these out. So if somebody came to me, I would be like, okay, cool. And you get 15 minutes and you can do up to 20 documents. So if you want this appointment, you put it in there, you put your name, your phone number, and the number of documents, and then boom. Now here's the bigger thing. You cannot, once you make an appointment, you cannot cancel it online. You just don't show up, I guess. I didn't see it. There's no phone number to call. If you show up, cool. If you don't, you don't. Let me see if there's anything for the second week of October. So far they have not put anything up. So what does that say? That means if somebody wants an apostille that needs to be done and they can't wait till the 28th, I don't know. You're gonna have to wait till the 28th. It's that simple because all of these appointments are taken. Okay. Now, here's the thing: the types of documents. This here is what kicked my butt, and I did not know this. And I wish I had probably saved a little more time, but I didn't know this. A notarized document must be properly notarized by a Virginia notary. Oh, I thought we. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me not. A Virginia notary. That could be anything, but a Virginia notary within the past 12 months. A vital record, birth, death. In this case, I have to say it because it's here on the screen, YouTube. Marriage or divorce certificate. The document cannot be notarized. None of those can be notarized, and it must be issued from the Department of Health Vital Records Division or a local DMV within the past 12 months. Marriage certificates issued by the circuit court must contain a certification of record, triple seal, and it said a court record cannot be notarized and must be issued within the past 12 months. Anything you get from the State Corporation Commission must have been issued within the past 12 months. His document was issued in 2015. That means he had to go order a new one. He had to go order a new birth certificate. So I was like, wow, that throws a monkey wrench in trying to do stuff here in Virginia to me, because it's like, one, is the document current? Two, can I even get an appointment? That's where you stuck at. And then with the you can do express and they have this company called Vital Check. Oh, what the heck is it? I guess it's yeah, Vital Check, and then you can go and get it and get a and go here and order you a birth certificate, marriage certificate. Now, here's a quick: some states will allow you to order it on behalf of a person, even though you're not related to them. Virginia's not one of them. I called the Secretary of State, I mean the Apostille people, and I asked them, I said, can I go to Vital Check and order a birth certificate on behalf of that person? They said, no, we won't accept you doing that. I was like, oh, so he had to go do it. So you can get birth, expired certificates, marriage certificates, divorce certificates, all of that. You can go right here and get all of that. And it don't take that long because I did my birth certificate that way. So the apostille here was a little different than what I was thinking in my mind. I was thinking you get a document, you just roll. Not here. So that means what? Is that the same way in other states? I don't know. I just know what it is in Virginia. So that means somebody who's sending a document here, and let's say you're going to be the intermediary, you need to know these things. And that was something I didn't know, and I felt real bad about that. And I don't know how I missed that when I did some research on it last year. I don't know if that's a new rule or what, it might not be, but nonetheless, that is what it is. So he had to order a new one, got it. I got the apostille, everything was fine. Boom, off to the races. It's been shipped, went and shipped it back, and they got it already. Haven't heard anything like, hey, something was wrong. Everything's good. Well, it can't be anything wrong because the people up there did it. Now, as I said in the video, when you get there in Richmond, you can't park anywhere around the building. There is no parking. They got police everywhere. So I don't know who the other important people that's in that side of that building at all and everything. You say definitely a benefit of living close. Yeah. Yeah. And it's an hour and a half drive for me. It's an hour and a half drive for me. And it says, of course, I walk away for a minute and you start talking about see. So the yeah, so I had to park. I found public parking. They got parking up there that says like library parking. If you're not going to use the library, you cannot park there. And I guess they have a way of keeping tabs on that. But the parking attendant was real cool. He told me where I need to go. Went over there, paid $8 for the parking. Walked seemed like a mile to get to the place. Got there, And when you walk in, you have to give them your ID, take all your stuff out, put it in there, go through the metal detector. The great thing I was happy about, they allowed me to keep my cell phone, which I didn't know if I could until I got there. Kept my cell phone, then I walk up the steps. There's a security desk there. Check in there. They see you on the list there. Then they see if you're on the list at the security desk, the first one, the metal detector, just to get in the building. Then you on another list for the office that you got to go to. Then I get into the office with the apostille people, and then they check me out to see if I'm on their list. So, and then you have to have your apostille paperwork filled out ahead of time, which I didn't because my first time I wasn't sure if I put my contact info or theirs, and they said no, I had to put mine. And and the lady who I was working with, she told me to put mine. So I was like, okay, did all of that. And I got in, got out, and as y'all see, saw, I was elated, I was giddy, very, very nervous, being around the state capitol, police everywhere, and all of that kind of stuff. And yes, I'm like, okay, please don't have these police coming on me. And then when I was outside doing the recording, I was hoping nobody would come up thinking that I was a First Amendment auditor and then try, start, barking at me and all that kind of stuff. So, none of that happened. But now I'm trying to figure out, can I make apostille something that I do consistently enough to make the money? And I don't know right now. I honestly don't know because of the logistics. Now, if somebody has time and they don't need it rushed, then yes, I can do that. I know what to do. At least here. In another state, I'd be hitting Caprinas up and paying him to go for me. That's what I would have to do. But this is what I have to. This is where I'm just like, I don't know now. I'm like, I see you can make some money, and you would have to sort of dedicate yourself to doing this. And the closer you are to the capital, the easier it is. So if you're far away from the capital, you gotta mail it, and you're going to have to wait those 10 days. It's that simple. So that's where it's at. But the bottom line of this whole Fritter Friday was simply this. $10 $10 for the that I had to pay per document. Yeah, so the fee is $10. Yeah, I guess that's affordable, I guess. Yeah, I guess it's affordable. I don't know. So so yeah, the fees, yeah, let me show y'all real quick. Yeah, so here's the fees. $10 per document, not per page, payable to Secretary of Commonwealth. On it says if there are several documents signed by the same public official, notary deputy on the same date in the county, then the fee is $10 for the first and then $5 for each one. Checks and money orders should be made payable to them. So there's no cash. So they're not taking cash. So it got to be checks and money orders. And it didn't say whether it could be, I guess it could be personal checks and all of that. So if you're unsure about whether what you got qualifies for that $5 for each additional, you probably want to go up there with a blank check and then fill in the amount and stuff. So overall, it was very simple, easy. Checking the status. Basically, if it's more than 10 days have passed since you mailed, you may want to contact them and all of that. So it wasn't bad for me. I enjoyed it. I'm excited about doing it again and everything. So I'm cool. I'm cool. So yeah, we can talk about it this weekend. I gotta start prepping for my closings tomorrow. I got a house inspection and then I got I think 4 closings tomorrow. And I got a remote closing that I gotta do. So yeah, I'm gonna be busy this weekend. And then all of that popped up at the last minute. I mean, literally, it's like bam, within like a 3 hour span of time. Next thing I know, I got all this work that I'm gonna be doing. I thought I was gonna be chilling and everything and all of that. Yeah, a blank company check will work, but they didn't say you can't be a company check. It didn't say it couldn't be, it had to be personal or business. So I would take a personal, a blank company check up there. I took a money order since I already knew it was just gonna be $10. So that's what I did. Um, but yeah, and then the research said the research and work in order to do from my observation is worth the price. Yeah. So and then it said that's where it seems to be prices, courier service can be, yeah, it can be as high as $1,000. She had to pay me and this, that, and the other, then all the shipping and all of that kind of stuff. So um nah, they didn't say you couldn't do personal. It just said check. That's all. It just said a check. It didn't um designate whether it could or couldn't be a personal and all that. It just said check. So I would assume it can be either one. Because they don't know you coming up there as a notary. They just know you a person that's coming up there. You're not identifying yourself as a notary. You're just up there getting it done. So I'm pretty sure it can be a personal check and stuff. So the whole point of tonight was simply this. It wasn't to cause a divide. It was just to bring out some questions, some concerns, some observations that I have, and to try to get us to really think about what we're doing out here and what we're focusing on. Yes, I am, but they don't ask me about that. They don't ask me, am I a notary business or what? They don't ask you anything about who you are. They just see your name on there. They don't ask you a company name or none of that. So, yes, technically, you're right. I'm up there as Griffin Notary Services, who are doing this apostille, getting this apostille done, but they're not asking that. They don't even ask. They just say, give me ID. Boom, that's it. They don't ask any of that other kind of stuff. So, the whole point is we got to really do some thinking because I'm telling y'all, we have a great opportunity to support these title companies, these signing companies, these lenders, if we get our heads right and get focused on doing the things that we're supposed to be doing based off of our commission. I understand it just sounds good, it's lovely, master the documents, Uber XL service, and all of that kind of stuff. But I've always said this, y'all, and y'all know I'm telling the truth. I'm mostly concerned and really all the way concerned about you doing your job as a notary first. What you do after that is up to you. All you need to do is be able to stand firm on it in a court of law if you find out that what you was doing was wrong. And that is the truth of the matter, that you have to be able to stand firm. If you're doing stuff outside of the scope of what you're doing that's supposed to do as a notary and you get pinged on it, you better be able to stand 10 toes down for what you did. That ain't the time to be crying. You chose to do it that way. You chose not to ensure that what you're doing is correct and whether you should do. You just went with somebody. That person seemed to be nice, handsome, beautiful young lady, good looking guy, nice. They just come across with this, that aura and all of that, all Denzel and Matthew McConaughey and Gwyneth Paltrow or whoever else, and you just believed them and didn't check up on anything. And how did that get you in the past with that person you believed that said, I got you. I'm here for you. Oh, I love your kids. Oh, your kids, I don't look at your kids as step kids. I'm okay with your baby mama coming around or your baby daddy coming around. That's what they said. Well, yeah, I get what you're saying. But some notaries don't have accounts. You know that, right? Some notaries don't have business accounts. Some notaries are doing their business as a sole proprietor and just dumping it all in their personal account. So that's another problem we got going on. And I will guarantee you that somebody has told a notary to do that. a lot of the bad things that notaries are doing, they have been told to do by someone else because that person is doing them and they've gotten away with it. So they tell other notaries, hey, you don't need an LLC. Okay, cool. You can just have a sole proprietor and take all your business money and just stick it into your bank account. Okay, yeah, Blue Vine wanted, yeah, the internet banks and places like that. Yeah, I don't like the internet banks. I like to be able to touch and grab and smell the new furniture that they're getting in there off of my interest money, off of my money they making all that interest on. But this is all about making sure that we understand who we really are. And if you want to call yourself a signing agent, fine, go for it. The only thing I ask you to do is don't make people feel bad because they don't recognize or they don't identify themselves that way. Don't make them feel bad and stop trying to puff yourself up and make yourself seem like you're more than who you are just because you feel like you want to adopt yourself as a name signing agent. And the same thing goes for notaries. Be who you feel you're supposed to be and stand 10 toes down if it blows up in your face and you realize that, oops, I was wrong. And hopefully you'll have an opportunity to correct it and move forward. Or you might not have the opportunity to correct it and move forward. And that might be the end of your notary career. Because no matter what you think, we're all on our own when it comes to this business. We have to do it ourselves because this here is about competition. So if you're not willing to compete and you're trying to have this little beehive of a relationship with everybody, this we all know. Yeah, I get the notary buddy concept and the notary friend. Okay, yeah, but you still got to run your business yourself. You still got to do what you need to do. And then here's the thing: most of us are notary buddies with people who aren't even in our state. In some cases, there are, like Oswald and his crew, they are. But a lot of people, you're not even notary buddies with the people in your state. You're notary buddies with folk outside. So therefore, you still need to make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing as a business owner. That's what this is all about. Because if you're classifying yourself one thing, don't expect the insurance or whatever to protect you when you're not classifying yourself as that. If your insurance says your car is a passenger car, but you decide to use it in a different manner and you get in a wreck and then you want them to fix it, they say, how were you using it? Well, I was using it because I was down there in Baja, California, dirt biking it and dune buggying it and stuff. And, the engine blew. That ain't how we got the car classified. The car isn't classified as a dune buggy to do that. It's classified as a passenger car. Well, yeah, but I got insurance. Okay, yeah, we protect you from when you do things when you're operating the car in the manner in which it's supposed to be operated. You took it outside of that scope, and our insurance doesn't cover that part of your lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? So that's life. That is we can't protect you, Mr. and Miss School Teacher, because what you taught is outside of the scope of the school board policy. You went outside of that. You got in trouble because you did something outside of school board policy. Policy matters. And what is the policy for notaries? To live this way, to live that way, to do these things that way. Can you operate in that and be happy with that? If you can, cool. If you can't, then you need to find something else to do. Can you operate as a notary the way your state law says it? Yes, I understand you want things to be more modernized and all of that. But till they become more modernized, can you operate that way? Can you operate that way? And if you can't, then you got to find something else to do. And that's how relationships work. So I greatly appreciate each and every one of y'all. This wasn't going to be some kind of bashing of you bad signing agents, you bad notaries, or just no, it was just me sort of venting and sharing my thoughts about this because I believe that we have an opportunity to do some great things here and that we can all get on the same page as to the lenders do their part, title company do their part, Signing company do their part. Notaries do their part. Those who are, and if you want to call yourself a signing agent, fine. But if you know that within the realm of that signing agent title, you have to properly notarize stuff, then do it correctly. Make sure you get that done right. And you can call yourself whatever. Just like you tell your son or daughter, well, I don't care, you want to run around here and call yourself Captain America, fine, go take out the trash. Get your homework done. Make up your bed. Clean the room. And then we can do all of that. That's what you got to do. Make up your bed as a notary. And then you can do whatever else you want. And then just stand 10 toes down if you get caught up in some mess that you ain't supposed to be in. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. So thank y'all very much. We've been up here for 2 hours. I'm going to go eat my lasagna and finish eating that real quick, or might eat something a little lighter. And I ain't going to eat that. That's too heavy for me to go to bed. I'm going to eat something light and get these documents printed, get ready for my house inspection, get all my gear ready for that, and go out here and have some fun in this life. All right. Y'all have a good one. Peace.